Yeah, I'm a massive football fan. I'm a Blackburn fan. And if they, their sort of result on a Saturday is my geek out moment.
All the fires are on. All the fires in the scene are on. And there's a bit of fur as well. And you're just sweltering.
King of the North.
Patty, Matt, thank you so much for hanging out with me.
What's your poster there? I can see.
Oh, it's an old, it's called They Came From Beyond Space. It's an old sci-fi horror poster.
Oh, very, very cool.
I know you're a big horror fan.
Yeah, I love horror. Yeah.
I've only just started to really get into horror movies in the last couple of years of my life.
Yeah.
I'm all over them.
Well, it's a pleasure to talk to you. We're talking House of the Dragon.
I consider the matter urgent. That of your succession.
The Iron Throne is the most dangerous seat in the realm, and our line is vulnerable, too easily ended.
Well, who else would have a claim?
The firstborn child.
Rhaenyra. No queen has ever sat the Iron Throne.
The king has an heir, Daemon Targaryen.
I will not be made to choose between my brother and my daughter.
The thing that struck me about Viserys is that he is not what we've come to expect from a Targaryen after Game of Thrones. He's kinder, gentler, more reasonable. Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about how you approached this character?
When I read the script, I just saw a lot of human qualities in him, really, and that was, the world and the history of that world has been filled with a lot of tyrants. There's a lot of a lot of violence, and I thought it was quite refreshing to read a character that wasn't that way, but there was still dimensions to him. And the difficulty is that everybody wants him to be a tyrant. I think Daemon wants him to be a tyrant, but he's been given a responsibility that he takes very seriously. He won't go to war until it's absolutely necessary, and he won't be drawn into it by other people. But also he's holding this prophecy, this secret, if you like, that comes from a dream. And it's something that he cannot share with everybody, that he can only share with a few people that he can trust. Well, Rhaenyra is the only person he shares it with.
Yeah. And Matt, when Game of Thrones first started, we never expected to look back on Daenerys Targaryen as somewhat of a villain in the end. 10 years from now, will we look back at Daemon as a hero or a villain?
Oh, God, that's a very good question. I mean, the truth is I don't know because I've not read what's to come. I don't think it's as simple as him being either or. I think, if anything, he's an anti-hero, really, if I was going to, have to sort of box him off. But in a way, Daemon's sort of unknowable, unboxable. You can't really pigeonhole him, which is what I like about him.
In the first episode of the series, you both sit on the Iron Throne. And I've sat on a replica of the Iron Throne and can never quite figure out where I want to put my arms, how I want to do it. Did you try out a few poses on the throne before you really got what you wanted to do?
No.
Because you sat on it all day. You just sort of lean into it how you lean into it, don't you? It's, you're there for like 10 hours.
Yeah, I certainly didn't disrespect, when the camera's on, I didn't disrespect sitting on the throne. There was a respectful way that I have to carry myself as king. Yeah. But I just, as much as you can, you would try to avoid those cliches in playing a king, with certain hand gestures and things. The sort of traps that some actors follow, the rolling of the fingers and all that shit, They're just trying to avoid all of that, really. But no, I to me, it's a sacred seat, and it's a dangerous seat, and it's a possessed chair almost. There's a lot of death on that throne. And, in a way, it takes its hold over Viserys, but, that's all to come.
Matt, you were, of course, the 11th Doctor in Doctor Who. You've appeared in the Marvel Universe. You're now in the Game of Thrones series. There are so many fandoms that geek out over you. I'm curious what you geek out over.
Football, yeah. I'm a massive football fan. I'm a Blackburn fan. And if they, their sort of result on a Saturday is my geek out moment, whether they win or lose, it affects me for the next, few hours of the day. And something I share with my dad. That's a real passion of mine. Sorry, it's not a very geeky thing, is it? And also vampires. I love vampire movies, and vampires it's my other sort of geeky passion, I think.
Okay, so one of the things that I geek out is I collect some collectible figurines and mostly these Funko figures that they make of all the Game of Thrones characters.
That Daenerys.
It is. And you both have your own Funko figures now for your characters in House of the Dragon. Patty, I think this is the first time you ever had an action figure.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised, but not the action figure element. I get a really nice treat. The ones that I do have were made by fans.
Yeah.
And so they've got a real sort of bespoke thing about them, which I think is really nice from other work that I've done. It always surprised me with that Funko that they never did me and Rafe Spall in Hot Fuzz, you know, for how they geek out and do a myriad of things.
Right.
We'd be a great set. I don't know why that's never come about. But I'm over it now, mate. Too late for Funko. See you later.
You've had like hundreds of action figures made of you. Do you keep them in your home anywhere? Is there just a shrine of all your characters?
Just kind of dotted around my house. No,
Yeah.
no, I don't. Although my mum has them up in the loft for posterity.
I mean, that's what moms are for, right?
That's what mums are for, eh? Yeah.
Well, that's my time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Love the show and can't wait to see what else is
What's
coming.
on your T-shirt?
Oh, it's House of the
King of the North.
King of the North.
King of the North.
Take care, guys.
Nice
Take
one,
care,
mate.
brother.
See you later.
Bye.
See you, mate.
Olivia, Emma, hello. Thank you so much for hanging out with me.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Of course. Olivia, the history of these characters has already been written and told by George R.R. Martin. So coming into this project, do you read ahead to see where your character ends up, or do you stay focused on her immediate future?
No, I've read ahead. Yeah, of course I have. Yeah, no, I have to know. Because also, you know,
come in.
I'll tell you. It's like, you know, I'm about to sign a contract for, you know, however many years. I want to see where it goes and if I like where it goes, you know, or if I find, if I can play that or not.
And Emma, I'm guessing it's by design that Rhaenyra evokes so many memories of Daenerys Targaryen. Were there any bits of that character or Emilia Clarke's performance that you brought to your own just to have that Targaryen through line?
I think they're very different people. I mean, hair's the same. I do think they're really different people. I think where they have a similarity is in they both run on sort of old Targaryen fire, right? And both of them actually go on a journey that involves working out when to trust that fire and let it burn and follow it, and when to dampen it and sort of choose something else, adopt something else. Otherwise, they're really different people, and I think my deep insecurity would have been done no favors if I'd looked too much to Daenerys as a kind of blueprint for this character.
When I'm queen, I will create a new order.
There are power men should never have trifled with.
If Rhaenyra comes into power, she could cut off any challenge to her succession.
I am to inherit the Iron Throne. She will block my way.
Now they see you as you are.
Olivia, I've always admired your commitment to your roles, whether it's you're shaving your head for Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, or dyeing your eyebrows blonde for Sound of Metal. Was there anything out of the ordinary you had to do for this role?
Physically, no. I think, you know, mentally it was quite demanding, more so than I ever thought it would be. I think there's a different kind of stamina that I had to develop in terms of, you know, there's these huge set pieces and there's stunt sequences. They take a long time to film, and you've got 50 characters in one scene, and sometimes that's a week or two where you're just saying the same things over and over again, but still trying to imbue it with the exact same emotion. And oftentimes that emotion is just right up here.
Where is duty? Where is sacrifice? Have you never imagined yourself on the Iron Throne?
So that was, you know, very demanding in that sense.
I imagine you're also wearing like several layers of polyester costume that's weighing you down.
And all the fires are on. All the fires in the scene are on. And there's a bit of fur as well, and you're just sweltering. And you're wearing the same costume for 2 weeks that, they're doing a bit of an alcohol spray under the armpit, but I'm literally like, don't come near me, I stink, don't come near me.
Do you think they've laundered them since?
No, they walk on their own now.
Well, you both have Funko Pop figures that have been made of your characters. Like this.
You both have a fungal infection. You both have a fungal infection.
Yes, from your costumes. That's super gross. No.
What would you rather, a fungal infection or a pop figure?
No, pop figure.
Yes. Well, I was going to say that, Olivia, I think you already had a few made for Ready Player One, but Emma, this is your first one. Like, how cool is it to have an action figure?
It's unbelievable. I can't believe we're having this conversation. I'm in existential crisis. I don't know what the hell's going on. I mean, crucially, it's not of me, right? It's of this character, and so I guess me and I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it.
I have a Jon Snow one. Actually, someone gave me one when I got this job. They sent me a Jon Snow Funko Pop. So that's somewhere in my house.
We really got off the rails a little bit, but thank you.
Sorry.
It's not. It did sound like fungal infection. You're right.
It didn't. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. Have a great day. Thank you for everything. Bye.
Bye.
What is this brief mortal life, if not the pursuit of legacy?
I, Rickon Stark.
I, Corlys Velaryon. I, Ormond Baratheon.
Promise to be faithful to King Viserys and to his named heir,
Princess Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra Targaryen.
Men would sooner put the realm to the torch than see a woman ascend the Iron Throne.
We play an ugly game. You have the determination to win it.